Revival is miraculous. It is marvelous. It is incredible. Big, burly, proud men, obstinate to the gospel, humbled to tears. Cold, hard, lifeless communities, abounding in joy. One minister said his biggest problem was trying to get people to church until revival hit his town. Now we can't get them to leave, he said. Meetings would go all through the night with no order or plan other than what the Holy Spirit inspired. Some people lying on the floor under the power of God for days, basking in His intensified glory, only to get up and go and change the world. The very thought of it can send thrills through our hearts. God coming near, God showing off His supreme power in absolute authority. However, as marvelous as it is, we must know that we are not asking for something beyond the realm of possibility. We're not asking for something out of our reach, something beyond what we're allowed to pray for. Why? Well, because the world has seen many revivals. As often as men asked, God has answered. Churches have experienced revivals. Towns, university campuses, cities, whole regions, and even entire nations have experienced revivals. We have had 2,000 years of scattered revivals in different cultures in every corner of the world. Big cities, small rural towns, little churches, stadiums full. The world has seen revivals in many shapes and sizes. So why wouldn't it happen for us? We are simply asking for what God has promised. Pray like this, our revival master said. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Matthew 6. That's revival. Luke 18. And shall God not avenge His own elect, who cry out day and night to Him, though He bears long with them? I tell you that He will avenge them speedily. It's not uncommon in modern warfare, when ground troops are being overrun by enemy forces, to call out for air support to come and aid their efforts and put them on the front foot again. And this is what we are asking for in revival, that God would come in His might with heaven's armies and rend the heavens, the invisible strongholds of darkness, and give us terrestrial advantage. When we cry, Isaiah 64 verse 1, oh, that you would rend the heavens, that you would come down, we are asking Him to destroy the unseen forces of darkness that reign over people's lives, blinding them from the light of the glory of the gospel. Ephesians 6:12 says, for we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of this dark age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Oh, rend those heavens, Lord. One such incredible example was the small town of Arnhem, a stubborn little place with a small population wanting nothing to do with the move of God happening all around them. Blind people, captive people. That was until a small group of hungry believers began to pray in a farmhouse. A local blacksmith began to pray, and he didn't stop for 2 hours. He kept going with his hat in his hand and his head looking heavenward, pressing on and pressing through in the Spirit. Towards the end of his passionate, heartfelt, continued prayer, he prayed, God, do you know that your honor is at stake? You promised to pour out water on the thirsty and floods on the dry ground. I stand before you as an empty vessel, and I am thirsting for thee and for a manifestation of thy power. I'm thirsty to see the devil defeated in this parish. I'm thirsty to see this community gripped as you gripped others. I'm longing for revival. And God, you're not doing it. I'm thirsty and you promised to pour water on me. God, your honor is at stake, and I take it upon myself to challenge you now to fulfill your covenant engagement. The moment he said those last words, the house that they were in shook violently. A jug on the sideboard crashed to the ground and broke. It was like an earthquake. Those who were present said that wave after wave of power swept over the room. At the same time, the town of Arnold was awakened from its slumber, awakened from its captivity. God had rent the heavens. At 2 a.m. in the morning, lights went on when the blacksmith finished praying. People came into the streets and started praying. Others knelt where they were and asked God to forgive them. Men carried chairs and women held stools, asking if there was room for them in the church. Revival came to this last resistant town. Lord, make us like that blacksmith, so resolute, so determined. You were his only hope. How he wanted his town to be saved and to be set free. Lord, this posture you love and you cannot resist. I bow my heart and I bend my knee. Send revival and start with me. Pour out your Spirit in an unprecedented way. May all who hear be saved today. May all who are saved proclaim the way. Lord, send revival and start with me.